Children are like sponges, so they absorb whatever they are put into.
What I feel is the children hate hypocrisy. The best is not to have their dark side. And if we do, then the child is aware of it and very much knows that, they are working on it.
We never had a maid to take care of our child. Only two of us raised our daughter. We made sure that if I was out, he was with her. And if he was out, I was with her.
When I buy something for my daughter, I at the same time buy for my wife. Both my ladies should look the best wherever they are. So then she knows it is not just me, but it is as a whole unit. And wherever both of them go, in a very surprised way, they buy all the things for me. I said, my father should also look. So it's like a whole thing where the whole family should look smart.
Many families are struggling to make money, and then obviously the child doesn't get as much attention. So how do you manage when you don't have the time, which is a situation for a lot of parents?
What we make sure is that
Hi, Hare Krishna, and welcome to the School of Bhakti podcast. It's called Bhakti Life, and for this episode we have me and my husband as the interviewers, as the hosts. My name is Vrinda Kishori Devi Dasi, and we have Vrindavan Bihari Das. We are parents of a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old. We're lucky today we get to interview Sridama Prabhu and Kishori Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I've got to tell you a little bit about them. So we've got Sridama Prabhu, who's actually a business entrepreneur in the private equity space, and he's a certified life coach from the International Coach Federation. So he's been practicing Bhakti for 38 years, and throughout this time he's been coaching and helping devotees in their marriage, with children, and in Bhakti life generally. And then we have his good wife, Kishori Mataji. So she's a doctor, she's a researcher, she's actually published papers on spirituality and lifestyle diseases. She's also been trained in psychological counselling and has been practicing Bhakti for 35 years, is it?
38 years.
Oh, sorry, 38 years. 38 years too. And both of them together have actually helped us quite a lot throughout our life, actually. Was it before we got married, or maybe...
I think before and when we had kids as well.
Yeah, before marriage, after marriage, before kids, as soon as we had kids, whilst we've had kids, and now that one of our children has entered the teenage phase of life, we're back again, and we're going to get to find out some really juicy stuff, hopefully.
Okay, so Prabhuji, Mataji, thank you for being here. I remember when we first had a child and you did a seminar on relationships and how to relate to your child. I think that was really helpful. What I want to try and do here is start off broadly. Maybe we start off with relationships, husband and wife relationships, and how would they affect the child, and then maybe we go to child-specific questions. So I was doing some research, and the type of family that you have, for example, if you're a single parent, the outcomes for the child is, they're more likely not to succeed or have happy childhood. Or if there's conflict, even in a parental household, if there's conflict, there's stress, children are not likely to, or won't have as good outcomes as if the parents are working nicely together. So in your experience, you've met many couples, you've counselled, I guess, many teens and parents. What are the key points or key factors that have created an environment where kids can thrive?
Children are like sponges, so they absorb whatever they are put into. So first and most important thing is that parents, they need to understand that whatever they are doing, children are going to absorb from them. So I'm not saying that the parents don't fight or they don't have argument. I remember once a child was asked that, what is your opinion of on the 25th wedding anniversary of their parents? That what do you want to tell about your parents? And did they fight? Did they argue? And the child said, yes, they fought. They used to have a lot of fights, but the best thing I saw was within 5 minutes, they would be together again. So, what is important is your children know what you are doing. They are absorbing whatever you are doing. So, you need to give them that environment where they grow happily and realistic. Sometimes people, what they speak is sometimes, very bookish, but actually what you do at home, how you deal with each other, how the husband is helping the wife, or how the wife is taking care of the family needs, or how together they are managing in a single family. That is very important. Like we have seen in our family that we never had a maid to take care of our child, or only two of us raised our daughter. And we made sure that if I was out, he was with her, and if he was out, I was with her. In fact, we traveled with her when she was 14 months old, and she knew everything what we were doing. In fact, sometimes the seminars which we were giving, and she would give us some tips, you can add this, because she had been hearing for so many years. And in fact, recently I wanted to prepare a class, and I asked her, can you think of some examples? And she quoted 4 examples. It's not that she reads a lot or she hears a lot, but because she has been with us wherever we went, and we have developed that connection with her. The 3 of us are together as one unit. So that is definitely a very good tip I would like to give to the parents, that always involve your children in the decisions which you make, and don't be artificial in front of them. Even if there are arguments, but what you do actually after that makes them realize that what is a real life. Many times we want our children to be, great in their studies, get medals and score good marks. But I would say that most important is you need to know that your child should be happy. It is not important that they memorize so many shlokas, or they know the world map, the continents and everything. But what is important is that they are aware about what is the medical history of their family. Or what is important for them is to know that, maths may not be good, but they should know what is the income of the family, and how much expenses are there, what you are doing, when you are taking some decisions of even changing your house, or if they demand something, they should know that this is what is your financial income and this is what best you can do. So you make them part of many decisions of your life. Then they work as a unit. And most important, I would say, is that the entire family works together to be happy.
I think that's so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just a small point adding to that is that we must all understand that the children's first ideals, they could have many as they grow, but the first people whom they really imbibe are their parents. So we must all understand the responsibility that parents have to really create that environment where the first impression of their ideal is a very, very happy and a very honest experience. What I feel is the children hate hypocrisy. So when they find hypocritic behavior in their parents, and many times we do that because, we want to obviously hide the dark side of our relationships. The best is not to have that dark side. And if we do, then the child is aware of it and very much knows that, they are working on it. So I think these 2 things is very important as parents. We should all know the great responsibility. And it is sometimes we realize that responsibility quite late when it is, when it is too late for the child has already made, his or her impression about the parents. And then we say, oh my God, what did I do? We could have done a better job, but it's just too late. So it's important to know from the beginning.
Thank you, Prabhu. And in spiritual circles, sometimes we try to act in a certain way, right? Because we want to project that we're good devotees or something, or our children are good. So how do you kind of avoid that? Because you've got how do parents become aware not to become hypocritical, especially in religious organizations? When you don't have any religion or any ideal, then it's probably easier. But when you are in spirituality, it's easy to seem a bit more hypocritical because you might be giving classes and then at home you're doing something else. So that the child sees there's a disconnect.
So two things what I can think of is one is that as honest practitioners of the religion that you are following, in our case it was the Bhakti religion, then we are genuinely trying to be achieving that stage that we are talking about. So the child sees it, and not just for the child to see, but we are actually trying to reach that stage. And number two is to honestly let the child know that yes, we are talking about an ideal situation. We are honestly not there. We are all trying to be there. The child loves that honest acceptance of the reality, honest understanding of the ideal. And my parents are wonderful practitioners who are trying to reach there. So this gives them a very honest picture. This is what I've seen, and this is the way we have been, raising our child, and we have been living in our family. Both the things. Not that we are completely not really bothered about what we do at home. We just speak lofty things outside, but very strictly following it. Both of us have been strict morning practitioners of our practices of chanting. We have been strict practicing the need to help others. The child has seen that my parents go out of their way to help other people. So child imbibes that you know what, this is wonderful. This is what life is, to help others. And individually we are also helping each other. So his child has seen that. So that's what, anything that you feel we should add.
So what is most important is that, again I would say the point of, children are like sponges. So when we are practicing our spirituality, morning chanting, hearing of different classes while we are doing our different activities, plus helping devotees, and emphasis is always on the core principles of spirituality. We never force our children to practice spiritual, that you have to chant, you have to memorize the shlokas. No. We have given her the freedom, but at the same time, we have made sure that all her experiences connected to spirituality are very happy experiences. I would not rather say that, okay, you memorize the shloka, but I would say you understand the meaning of the shloka and how it will actually help you practically in your life. Because we understand, when you have that relation, when you have that connection with your child. And I was very happy that once, in her school, she and her best friend, they were chosen for, I think, the captain of the school. And in her cupboard, she had written 2 lines that whoever deserves will win. And she was competing with her best friend, but she was not that, I want to push her down and I want to come first. And for me, that was a success. It doesn't matter to me whether she becomes a captain or not, but her attitude matters the most to me. That what she has learned from whatever lectures she has heard or whatever association she has had. So for me, it was important that she learned the inner principle, core principle, that how it is better to be humble and respectful to others. And if you deserve, you will get it. If you don't deserve, somebody else deserves better than you, they will get it. So that is one aspect. Second aspect is a relationship with devotees. Right? We have so many relations with devotees at temples, sometimes in our small groups. And she is observing the way we relate with the devotees, how we sometimes, help them. Or whatever we speak to them. It is not that coming home we are speaking what we have spoken there to them and then again we are changing the talks. So for her it is very clear what my parents speak is consistent. And they are not changing the opinion about the devotees, or they are not criticizing devotees, or they are not putting the devotees down. So that we are very careful that, it is very important that if we give importance to devotees, if we give importance to association, child will naturally learn that and absorb it. You don't have to force them. They may have during their teenage, their own desires, but if they have observed this, it's a matter of time they are going to do it. So these two principles are very important for me, and I have seen that in my experience that many devotee children, as young children, they are very enthusiastic, going to temple, practicing Krishna consciousness, chanting, reciting slokas. But around 13, 14, you can say, or maybe here, maybe a little earlier, they little want to, see outside what's happening. Let them do it. Because as I'm a researcher, my observation is that after 19 years, 20, 21, again they come back to the track. And then when they start practicing their Krishna consciousness, it is they want to do it, not because you want them to do it.
So I guess that brings us on to the question of, like, a lot of parents, especially because our children are becoming that age, adolescence, there's a whole movie about that, where a parent thinks he's doing well and he actually wasn't, he didn't know what was going on. I think you kind of touched on how to make sure you're transparent. But then there's all these smaller questions that come up. When do you give your child a phone? Do you check their phone? Do you trust them? And you have different types of children. So some children are very open and honest. Another child will be like quite sneaky. That's just their nature. Or not sneaky, but just to have a completely different nature. And they're more maybe gullible or whatever. So you think, I need to check that kid's phone and not this kid's phone. So how do you navigate that? How do you know whether you're being too free and open, and when should you be restrictive? Where's the...
In my parenting style, what I have taken into consideration is that at particular age, when we did give phones, because during COVID times and other times the education became online and they needed all the gadgets and things were coming on the media, the social media, WhatsApp or Telegram, the books were coming, the homeworks were coming, and she had to use it. So they were using it, she was using it, but at the same time we also made sure that she has a desire, or the child has a desire to study, then we encourage that, we fan that spark. Just recently, yesterday, some mother was asking me that my child only wants to study now and doesn't want to do anything with spirituality. And I asked her, how old is he? He said he's 15. So as per Panchakosh, which is in Ayurveda, that 15 to 19 is Vijnanmaya Kosha. And that's the time a human being, if they focus and do a lot of hard work, with especially Vijnanmaya Kosha, means researching and finding out and studying more, those children, even if they may not apparently look that they are not practicing spirituality, but they actually learn the principle of hard work, focusing on the goal, and that will help them in their spiritual life later on. So what we focus for our daughter, because she was intelligent and she wanted to pursue studies, so we helped her in that area. And that time probably her spiritual practices became less, but because that was a nature, to study, and studies required a lot of hard work, so naturally she became away from those other, you can say, so-called internet distractions, and her time was channelized in doing something which will actually help her. So sometimes some devotees were criticizing us also that, why are you pushing her? She's a girl. Why are you pushing her so much into education? But I understand that if you don't want them to get distracted, because social media is everywhere and you can't, don't be an illusion that, you are going to protect your child. They are going to face it. This is the world. This is the real world. But you need to understand, to guide them or help them to navigate through this journey, and what is good for them, what is there important for their overall progress in life, navigate them through that, so that they can pick up right things and channelize their energy into more constructive work.
Okay. So we've got these friends. We've got friends.
Friends.
And they have different approaches for monitoring their phone. Because there was this movie Adolescent. Basically, the father thought the kid's fine, and then I think the girl or the guy got shot
Did you
or
watch it?
killed. So it was because they weren't checking, they just trusted their child. So too much trust maybe. So there's these apps that you can put on the phone, like Family Link. So you can actually, see who they call, see all their WhatsApp messages. So some people do that. Some people go on.
Yeah, so our friends think that, so maybe the mother trusts the child, and but it's valid actually. I think both sides are valid, that we might think that, oh well, look, I trust my child, we have an open relationship, like as you were saying with your child, we're just honest with everything, all our flaws, everything's just out there, and we discuss everything, we talk it all through. Whatever they've encountered in their day-to-day lives, they come back and they're telling us and they're showing,
Maybe that's the mother's nature. And then the father's nature is something like, look, even if one guy gets in, or someone gets in.
He keeps checking.
No, so basically, the way it works, honestly, is that I love to, obviously we give the phone. I like to get the best phone for her, so she's happy with it. She's satisfied, but I give her surprises. I said, what was that guy telling you on the WhatsApp? I said, Papa, you checked. I said, see, so it's not that I'm going to check every now and then. But she knows that there would be surprise checks.
Oh, so you do spot checks.
And at the same time, my intention is not to catch her, something. But it's just good to know that the child knows also what's happening.
And also I feel like she can check my phone, she can check in our house. Anybody can check anybody's phones. So we don't have rules that I can check her phone but she cannot check mine.
Yeah.
So
but
that whole thing is that we are actually scrutinizingly just you are under our microscope. No, that feeling is not there.
But the more important
that
thing I
feeling
feel
is very disturbing, I feel.
Yeah, it's mistrusting, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you know what? I think the more important part is there's so much of interaction with each other that the phone is not important. The fact that you guys are asking about the phone, you are trying to make the phone a very important aspect of a family life.
Yeah.
It is not. It is a means of communication, and there could be some social media here and there. But more important is, that the happiness the child experiences and that we all experience when we sit together, where there's no phone around and we talk about everything in life. We may see something entertaining together. So the child feels, that I'm getting everything I need from my family. Why need the phone? I'll use the phone for what it is meant for. You're getting it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll be looking elsewhere.
Yeah. So symptomatic of a bigger issue if you're not getting the love or
and
the
plus, if you're
attention of the
becoming too
family.
focused on the phone, then you are just not focusing on the child. It's just phone. So sometimes I feel people are paranoid about the phone. Let's give the due importance rather than just becoming too conscious. That's what
you need to give time. You need to give time to your children.
Can I give a counter though? Like, we live in a very busy world, and I mean, we're homeschooling a child, so Rinda's at home, but many families, they're struggling to make money, so they're working a lot, and then obviously the child, doesn't get as much attention as in a different situation. And I guess when you're middle class or you're getting enough money, so you don't have to work as much and you can give the time. So how do you manage when you don't have the time, which is a situation for a lot of parents?
No, I mean, honestly, there's never a time, we both are working. Like, I have my business, she's a working person, and not to just a part-time, she's a serious, responsible job that she has. But, what we make sure is that we do not sleep till we have spent at least good quality time with the child and with each other. Quality time.
That's
the
our priority.
the quantity might not be there all the time. We might not have half an hour, 1 hour together, but quality time. We sit. I said, child, how was your day today? Please tell me. And what did you do today? What surgeries you saw? X-rays you saw, because she's in medical. So and same thing with each other. We know each other's day before we sleep.
Well, that's interesting. Remember that, Gail, when you had a debate with someone, also not a debate, but discussion about mothers working, and she said, no, I'm happy with my mother working because she got quality time.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
because I had this thing that, my mum was always working, and so I didn't get to spend any time with her. So I was adamant, I'm not going to go to work, I'm going to stay at home with my kids, and I'm going to give them quality time, because if you're working, then you can't. But then I had this conversation with someone who was like, and she was the daughter of a single mother, and she was always working, and she said we had a lovely relationship because when she wasn't working and she was at home, she spent quality time. So I really like that you were saying that it's not about the amount of time, it's like with the amount of, whatever amount of time, there's quality in there.
And also this happens because, when she was younger, that time I worked in a way that when she was out for the school, I was out for the work. When she's back at home, usually I would try to come back just 1 hour after that. So at home, till the time she reached a particular age where she became more busy in her studies, I tried to spend a lot of time with her. And she knew that my mother is working, but at the same time she's preparing this fresh food for me. She has time for me. She's taking, me out for different things, different activities. So she understood that I am very important for my parents. That feeling is very crucial for the upbringing of a child. And they understand that sometimes parents are working, they are busy, but still when they see that they are giving time, whatever time they have, the time is given, I think they really appreciate that quality time. So I would say that what is important is with all three of us, that we always spend quality time and we exactly know what is happening in each other's life. Many times, like she went for some birthday party or some school outing, I would make sure when she comes back that whatever has happened there, I would try to find out what impressions this event has led into her mind. Because it is very important for a parent to know what is going on in his or her mind. Because that thoughts, that experience will actually lead to some self-talks. All of us have self-talks, and that self-talk actually will translate into some actions. So you always have to be smart and vigilant whenever they are interacting with other things or any functions, event, that what impressions they have got through that event.
I think that, I've noticed with my kids that, sometimes if they come back from somewhere, they're a bit moody, and I'm like, oh, what happened? And they just don't want to talk about it. So I think we also need to kind of find a balance of do I push it now, or do I just let them know I'm here when you're ready to, tell me what happened? And as long as I don't push it and I'm just kind of staying there, but they know that I'm here and I'm concerned, and well, I'm around if you want to speak. Then they always come to me a bit later when they've calmed down. When I'm doing something else. It's usually at my most busiest time. They're like, so, today this happened, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I'm like, oh, phew. She's telling me what happened.
But when that happens, when the child wants to talk, what I do usually is I leave even the most busiest thing that I'm doing. I just put it down, but that is a very important time for the child to know that my father is doing something important. But when I want my father, I said, even if I'm on a phone on a business call, I said, she hears me saying, can I call you in 10 minutes? I said, Papa, why you did this? I said, no, I want to talk to you.
That's amazing. Yeah?
See, that's what the small things count. It's not the big things. The small acts of parents count, and that is what they take home.
The thing is though, we're not my dad wasn't like that. And my mum was a bit more like that, talked to you and stuff. So we don't even realize, because of how we've been parented, I just think, let's go to the mum, and I'm busy. So it's a really good point. Sometimes I think that millions of years we've been being parents. Why do we have to learn all of this stuff? Like we've been doing it naturally anyway, without any courses. But I guess what you're saying, the outcomes are much better just by doing these small things.
Please understand that how many years you have with your child. If you are too busy doing so many things, at present you are saying you don't have time when they want your time, even if your most important work. But then later on, you will feel when they are gone, oh, I want to spend time with them, I want to tell them so many things, but they don't have time. Please understand, they are going to start their life by 25. So what you have is, you can say till 6, 7, you are busy doing so many other things for them, they don't even realize. So it is those 15 years are very crucial.
I had
And
tears.
don't miss them, because as a father, you may think my father didn't do that for me, but actually you are the one, you are going to a loser. Not the child will maybe find that love from mother or from somewhere else, but you are going to miss that time. Oh, why I didn't spend that time? So my small advice is that just spend that time now.
I saw one video, very sweet video, I'd like to share later on with you all, of a video which says, that we constantly chastise the child, why you not put your clothes properly, why you're not doing this properly. He said, just wait for 10 years. And then she will come, it's about a daughter, and then she will come to your house, and then she will pack her bag and she will leave. And that was so touching. Oh my God, I said, this daughter is going to leave me. So I will not tell her anything now. So it was very touching. This video made me cry like anything.
You're actually tearing up now. Can get a zoom in.
That's so true. I mean, with my youngest daughter, I get so angry at her sometimes. She's a mess. She's like a hurricane. She comes to my room, I see wax on the floor, I see gum sometimes. Just irritates me so much. And then I think I saw some of these videos, and I think that it's not always going to be this messy.
No.
And she's going to go away.
And then what is very touching is, she will come to your house, she will have your clothes, but then she will leave. And then that feeling was, I said, no, I will never tell her anything. Let her do all the mess. I mean, not that I don't want to train her, but constantly, nagging her. That's not required, because as she rightly said, these children, whether a boy or a girl, in fact, boy is much lesser. The girl is a child for the rest of your life usually. But the girl is going to not stay with you. The son is not going to stay with you. Then you want them, you will not have them. You will cry for the rest of your life for being cruel to them. Think about the future and be nice in the present.
I really like your point, because I feel like I'm mourning that too. Like at the moment, my daughter, our daughter, she's 13, but now she's taking some exams a bit earlier. And so now I'm like, it's hitting me that, oh my God, she's growing and she'll be out of the house soon. And I've been talking to you about it, haven't I? That, I think I'm going through some sort of mourning thing. I need to kind of get used to this, that she's growing and that childhood is kind of going now. And we've only got a few more years left until she's just out there in the world. And so I suppose the next question would be about, with their growing, how do we kind of support them? Not just the bodily changes, but also, in the hormonal changes, but, the way they see themselves, the way they see society, how they, how do we help them navigate through that?
So we must understand that as a teen, there are so many hormones which are going up and down, and naturally they would becoming very conscious about how do they look, how do their hair, how do their friends, appreciate them. They like. When they dress up nice and somebody appreciates, they like it. So it is natural. It is natural. But at the same time, we have to make them learn that how your sleep is important, your exercising is important. Why? Because that will make you look internally more beautiful, and and healthy also, so that, because most of the teenagers, they usually end up eating a lot of junk food. But if they want to be good looking, then introduce exercise, introduce good sleeping habits, and also have a regular conversation that it is okay if they like somebody. And if they like, have that open channel where they come and discuss with you. That is very important. It is not that they go and discuss with somebody else who actually cannot help them. Rather, they come and discuss with you.
I love that. I love I love this. I love that it's not us against them. Oh, how are we going to navigate it? Oh no, they're teenagers. They're going to go off the rails. You're saying like, you're seeing that. Oh, they want to look nice. It's natural. Let me help you. Okay, if you exercise more, if you sleep well, you'll feel even better. And it just shows that you're really taking their,
sometimes purchase some nice perfumes or some cosmetics for them. I don't think anything wrong in that.
I personally, make sure that she knows, and it is not that she knows, but I actually want that she should look the best wherever she goes. If she goes to the college, she should be having the best college dress. She should look like a gentlewoman. And if she goes to a program or a gathering, she should be wearing the best possible dress, and not flamboyant, but very, very apt to that occasion. So I think it's very important that for me as a father, that I'm able to I want to provide the best so that my child looks. So it is very much supporting this aspect of the child looking good, the child looking attractive.
Also their self-image. See, they are creating their image. In whatever, till 5 years of age, whatever you do with them, they are okay. Between 5 to 10 years, they would accept few things, they would reject few things. By the time they're 11 to 15, they would be making decisions. No, I don't like this, I like this. But between 15 to 20, actually they are making their house. So whatever bricks they have collected right from the birth till 15 years, their house is going to be like that. So the way you dress up, the way the husband and wife, how they relate, how they respect each other, and sometimes father appreciates, brings some gifts for the mother. So she's observing that, he's observing that. And those culture, they are also helping them to build their own self-image. So let their self-image be, where they look beautiful, they look good, they are confident. At the same time, it is culturally acceptable.
Oh, that's so nice. What I really like is that you're both not just talking about the parent and the child, but it seems that it's as important that the mother and father are also, because I think that's what, for us, we put that aside, didn't we? As soon as we had kids, we didn't spend any time together.
So one more thing, when I buy something for my daughter, I at the same time buy for my wife. And she knows that I said both my ladies they know that both my ladies should look the best wherever they are. So then she knows it is not just me, but it is as a whole unit. And wherever both of them go, in a very surprised way, they buy all the things for me. I said my father should also look. So it's like a whole thing where the whole family should look smart, should look presentable, at the same time within the the cultural compliant way of dressing.
Also, what is very, very, very important as a doctor, I would like to say that the teenagers, they need good sleep, because their bones are growing so fast, their body is growing. Suddenly you see a teenager boy from one height they go to other height, and the girls also, so many changes are happening. So very important, they need good sleep. I see many parents, my child keeps on sleeping and they don't get up in the morning. They are sleeping till 11, but give them that space because their body needs it. If they have slept properly, their brain is not fogged, and they are very clear what is good for them and what is not good for them. Our responsibility as a parent is to give them that viveka buddhi, or that intelligence, which is discriminatory intelligence. We are not going to be with them for all the time. But whatever we are teaching them, or whatever they are observing, or whatever they are absorbing from our family life, they should know that, and they can take decisions that this is good for me and this is not good for me. And even researchers says that it is our sleep which is very important for our memory or intelligence to develop. So many times, one mistake many teenager parents do, they don't let their children sleep.
Apparently, for teenagers, the circadian rhythm is a little bit different. It's different to what but we're trying to impose our circadian rhythm on them. And I remember I was working in mental health a few years back, and we found that they do need to sleep later. That's why, and elderly people, that's why they wake up a lot earlier, because it's a whole circadian rhythm that changes as you progress. And do you have any last minute quick fire round top tips?
I would say that make sure that even if they don't win medals in their sports, but they exercise and they remain fit. Second, don't impose your spiritual practices on them. Make spirituality a way of life, and they should have happy experiences while practicing spirituality. Don't push them to read different books, biographies, and push them for so many different things, but teach them to write their own biography. Don't push them for knowing everything on the world map, but at least they should know how to come back to their home if they are lost. Sorry, one more. Okay. Don't compel your children to socialize, but make sure that they learn how to remain happy with whatever resources they have and people around them.
And one of the important things would be, do not compare your child with others. Your child is the best the way he or she is, and other people's child is best the way they are. The moment you compare, it will not only create confusion in the parent's mind, but it will be tremendously depressing for the child to be compared to somebody. So don't compare, and encourage the child for what the child is. So that's something which I find is over and above what Kishori has mentioned, is very, very important.
Just one last thing. Many times the mothers or the parents want them to eat whatever is there on the table. Even if they don't eat whatever you cook or whatever is offered, teach them to make their own meal, so they can fill their belly when they are hungry.
And give them enough love, enough care, enough everything that they need, because when they grow, they will thank you for being their parents. Genuinely thank you for that.
It actually sounds so simple. It sounds so simple. Thank you.
Parenting is
so
simple.
much.
It's not
Parenting is simple.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful
Thank
to
you.
spend time with you all.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for coming.
you've been such wonderful, vibrant, in asking your questions. And I hope we have shared whatever you wanted to know, and to the best of our ability. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
continued
Hare
guidance.
Krishna.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. So that's the end of today's episode of Bhakti Life. We'll see you soon. Hare Krishna. Bye-bye.